When they say cut, we say fight. Education is a right. When they say cut, we say fight. Education is a right. When they say cut, we say fight. Education is a right. When they say cut, we say fight. Education is a right. gbarnett.org and so on is our UCU London regional organiser for HE, or one of them, and he's been centrally involved in a whole series of similar disputes, big ones around London and elsewhere, and he'd like to just put us in the picture and the context of our struggle today. Great, thanks.
Thanks, Andrew. Well, I'm sure it won't be a surprise to any of you that, times are hard in higher education and times are going to get harder. What is unusual about this institution and this management, and possibly the very issue that this governing body is talking about at this moment, is that for an institution that is not facing immediate financial difficulty, London South Bank is the only one who has announced a pay freeze for this year, and we all know, of course, particularly after yesterday's budget, that a pay freeze for 2009-10 is effectively a pay cut. Now, in doing that, management at South Bank wouldn't just be penalising the hard-working staff at South Bank who have delivered huge efficiency savings, as management called them, over a number of years, as have their colleagues at other institutions, particularly in London, and continue to provide high-quality, good education to thousands and thousands of students that come here from across London and elsewhere. They will also, as well as doing that, they will be stepping away from agreed national pay bargaining by being the only significant higher education institution to deny their staff this year's pay award. Now let's be clear, this year's pay award is only 0.5%, half of a percent. That means it's a pay cut anyway in real terms, because inflation is going to be running noticeably higher than that this year. So management at South Bank are taking the minuscule amount of money which is on the table for hard-working higher education lecturers elsewhere and saying, no, we're not going to pay our staff that, we're going to keep it. And we're not going to keep it because we have to keep it, because we're in financial hardship. We're going to keep it because we want a fighting fund. And what do managers want fighting funds for in times like this? They want fighting funds to send people down the road and sack them in the future. So what I can say to UCU members here and all your supporters here is that UCU regionally and nationally are watching this situation very carefully, and we will support you in this battle with the management here. We've written to the Vice Chancellor here pointing out our objections to what they're doing. You have the support of me as regional official, you have the support of the union nationally, and you have the support of colleagues across London. Because if we as a trade union allow Professor Earwicker, Vice Chancellor here, and the Board of Governors meeting upstairs to get away with this, we are not only allowing our colleagues here to face a pay cut, we are allowing South Bank to tear up national pay bargaining, and that is something that we as a trade union cannot and will not accept. So I'm pleased to see you all here. Next time they meet, there needs to be another lobby, it needs to be a bigger lobby. All staff, all students need to know what's happening here. This isn't just about 0.5%, that's significant enough on its own. It's about tearing up national pay bargaining. It's in effect Professor Earwicker seeking to declare UDI, to take London South Bank out on its own. It's no good for staff, it's no good for students, it's no good for the future of the university, and we will fight against it. So I'm pleased to be here. Keep up the chanting, get the message through to these people upstairs, and if necessary, come back for their next meeting and the meeting after.
Thank you very much. I should just point out that it's not just UCU who are here today, this is a joint union initiative. I know that the officials from the other GNB and Unison unions have been very supportive in our negotiations with management up to now. I'm sure they will continue to be. We've learned a great deal from them as UCU, particularly over performance-related pay and other things when we've when we've had joint meetings with the three unions, and I'm quite sure that the unity between the three unions will continue. I also want to say something in addition to the general national picture that Greg's referred to, that our Vice Chancellor at the local level, for many years now, I think it's fair to say that union relations with management have been pretty good here. I've many times been to regional committee meetings and heard all these reports from down the table from Middlesex and where have you, and felt rather shamefaced that I couldn't report anything, as if I was doing my job wrongly because we didn't have any big battles. Historically, for perhaps 10 years nearly, we've had good relations with management, but for the last year things have changed dramatically, and it's not just national bargaining that's under threat, it's the local recognition of unions. When perhaps since last summer, we've had in UCU, I can't speak for the other unions, but an attack on our workloads via a reinterpretation of our contractual negotiated contract. We've had the imposition of a non-agreed appraisal scheme for UCU, and what else have we had? We've got something else going on. A host of procedural things where in the past human resources have waited for us to agree things before they've implemented them. Now they're moving at a pace without agreeing them. So this is going to be an ongoing struggle. We should make it absolutely clear we are not particularly bothered about the 250 or 200 quid of the difference between 0.5% and 0%. That's not the major issue. It's important, particularly for low-paid workers, but it's not the key issue. The key issue is the cavalier attitude that management are increasingly taking to negotiating agreements. And that's something we need to put a stop to as soon as we can. Shall we get back to chanting? Unless perhaps somebody from Unison or GMB might want to speak. All right, okay. What are we going to sing? No ifs, no buts, no education cuts. 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 No ifs. They say cut, we say